Everybody has intuition, not everybody knows how to pay attention to it. So to help you out, today I'll tell you what is intuition and how you can learn to listen to it in 3 simple ways. Your intuition is the strongest guidance system you have in your life because it is the way your soul communicates with you. If you'd ask me to choose between working with my spirit guides or working with my intuition, even though I love my spirit guides, I'll definitely choose my intuition. And then you might ask me, but why? And the answer is quite simple. Your spirit guides are meant to give you directions in life, but they're not meant to give you all the answers because they're not supposed to live your life for you. They are like teachers. If they would give you all the answers, they would be helping you to cheat the lessons that you came here to learn. Many times I had to take smaller decisions in my life and I would ask my guides, what should I do? And they would stay quiet. And after I took the decision, I would ask them again, did I choose right? And they would say something like, what do you think? Did you learn your lesson this time? Now, your intuition comes from your soul, your higher consciousness, the same consciousness that has chosen to go through the lessons here and has planned the major things that should happen in your life. So it has all the answers because it holds the blueprint for your life. It is the most reliable source of guidance that you have, and it works better than any other type of spiritual guidance in the universe. If you'd like to know about other types of spiritual guidance that you can work with, I made a video about 9 types of spirit guides and how they can help you. I'll leave the link below so you can have a look at it later. We all have intuition, but as it is not something that we've learned how to listen to when we were growing up, it might become difficult to identify it and work with it after we become an adult. Especially during those moments in life when our minds and emotions get confused, it becomes even harder because everything gets so cloudy. Seeking for your intuition might feel like searching for a sunlight in the middle of a storm. As I've mentioned earlier, your intuition comes from your soul, which is pure energy, and the language of energy is frequency and vibration. As your soul inhabits the center of your being, this vibration happens there where your essence is. The physical location is in your core, in your heart center, and sometimes between your heart and your gut. That's why intuition is also known as gut feeling. When you learn to locate your intuition and what language it speaks, vibration, it becomes much easier to learn how to listen to it. Now that you know what you should be paying attention to, let me tell you how you can use it. If you have different paths to choose from in your life and you are not sure which one is the best for you, you can do a very simple exercise to figure out. Just close your eyes and imagine one choice at a time and pay attention how your heart reacts to it. If it contracts, it is not a good choice. If it expands or vibrates higher, it is definitely a path that's more aligned with you. You need to pay attention where the energy is. When your mind is busy reasoning the choices, the energy is here around the head and it is noisy because of the logical thinking. Your intuition doesn't speak English, doesn't reason, and usually it is not even logic. So if you really want to listen to it, you have to quiet your mind, see the path ahead, and pay attention how your heart reacts to it. Since I started YouTube, I thought about quitting many times because my logical mind keeps giving me very valid arguments to stop doing it. And if I didn't quit yet, it is because every time I think about it, my heart squeezes. It is clear that my intuition doesn't like the idea. I try to figure out a different path from the one I am right now, like looking for a job, and my heart doesn't like it either. Even though this journey has not been easy at all, my intuition tells me that I am on the right path. Now, if you are completely lost and you cannot figure out any kind of path that you could follow, pay attention to how you react to external guidance. It comes in the form of someone saying something or you reading something that triggers an internal reaction. It is like a light bulb being lit inside you. Usually when this happens, it is so profound that you'll never be able to forget. Just look back at your life. How many times did you come across someone that has told you something that has changed the direction of your life? That's what I'm talking about. So if you are feeling lost, pay attention to any kind of information that you come across that gives you this different reaction inside you. You have no idea how many times I was lost in my life, and by paying attention to these external clues and following them, my life took amazing directions. Just to give you one example, I was very lost in my career path. I finished a degree in fashion design, I studied theater, and I was not happy to work with any of them. And by following these external clues, I ended up in Dubai twice. The first time as a waitress, the second time as a flight attendant. The first time was because of a friend's suggestion that made me curious. The second time, I saw on the news that Air France was hiring Brazilians, and my internal reaction was, yes, that's the perfect job for me. I wasn't hired by Air France because I don't speak French, but I worked for Emirates and have traveled the world for over 13 years. So you see how the intuition is different from the logical mind. It is not linear, and probably that's why it's so hard to listen to it after we grow up. If I would have followed my logical mind, I would have worked on the fields that I had a degree, and probably I would be very unhappy. So pay attention to these external clues. Sometimes you need only one, and sometimes you have to collect a few to make sense of a new direction. The last simple way that you can listen to your intuition that I'll talk about today, it is by paying attention to repetitive thoughts. The language of intuition is vibration, but sometimes it gets translated to your conscious mind through short sentences and commands that repeat themselves many times inside your head. You know when you have that inner voice saying things like, I should call that person, or I should change my lifestyle, I'm getting sick, and that keeps repeating over and over again. That's your intuition talking to you. It is not hard to listen to it. Usually it's quite clear and sometimes even annoying. The problem is to follow it and take action. How many times we choose to ignore these commands, and when we see, we spend a whole year saying something like, I should exercise, but we actually never do. So next time you have a thought coming out of nowhere and repeating itself for a few times, pay attention to it and do what it's asking you to do. It is not hard to listen to your intuition. The hardest part is to trust and follow it, because as I said earlier, it is not linear or logical. I really hope today's video has helped you somehow. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.